This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast? Smart move. Being financially savvy? Smart move. Another smart move? Having State Farm help you create a competitive price when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Rinse knows that greatness takes time, but so does laundry. So Rinse will take your laundry and hand deliver it to your door expertly cleaned. And you can take the time pursuing your passions. Time once spent sorting and waiting, folding and queuing, now spent challenging and innovating and pushing your way to greatness. So pick up the Irish flute or those calligraphy pens or that daunting beef Wellington recipe card and leave the laundry to us. Rinse. It's time to be great.
This is Optimal Health Daily. Working out while sick. Good or bad? Part 2 by Jillian Kubala with Healthline.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your very own personal narrator. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Optimal Health Daily. This is one of 5 podcasts where we read to you from blogs for free so that you don't have to read them yourself. Except on Fridays. That's where I usually answer your questions. Now today's post is a continuation from yesterday. So if you're new here, definitely check out yesterday's episode first. I can't wait to read you part 2 of this post, so I'm going to get right to it as we optimize your life. Working out while sick. Good or bad? Part 2 by Jillian Kubala with Healthline.com. When exercise is not recommended. While exercising is generally harmless when you have a mild cold or earache, working out when you're experiencing any of the following symptoms is not recommended. Fever. When you have a fever, your body temperature rises above its normal range, which hovers around 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or around 37 degrees centigrade. A fever can be caused by many things, but is most commonly triggered by a bacterial or viral infection. Fevers can cause unpleasant symptoms like weakness, dehydration, muscle aches, and loss of appetite. Working out while you're feverish increases the risk of dehydration and can make a fever worse. Additionally, having a fever decreases muscle strength and endurance and impairs precision and coordination, increasing the risk of injury. For these reasons, it's best to skip the gym when you have a fever. Productive or frequent cough. An occasional cough is a normal response to irritants or fluids in the body's airways, and it helps keep the body healthy. However, more frequent episodes of coughing can be a symptom of a respiratory infection like a cold, the flu, or even pneumonia. While a cough associated with a tickle in the throat isn't a reason to skip the gym, a more persistent cough can be a sign you need to rest. Although a dry, sporadic cough may not impair your ability to perform certain exercises, a frequent, productive cough is reason to skip a workout. And remember, a productive cough is one where you end up coughing up phlegm. A persistent cough can make it difficult to take a deep breath, particularly when your heart rate rises during exercise. This makes you more likely to become short of breath and fatigued. A productive cough that brings up phlegm or sputum may be a sign of infection or another medical condition that requires rest and should be treated by a doctor. Furthermore, coughing is one of the main ways illnesses like the flu are spread. By going to the gym when you have a cough, you're putting fellow gym-goers at risk of being exposed to your germs. The stomach bug. Illnesses that affect the digestive system, such as the stomach flu, can cause serious symptoms that make working out off limits. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, stomach cramping, and decreased appetite are all common symptoms associated with stomach bugs. Diarrhea and vomiting put you at risk of dehydration, which physical activity worsens. Feeling weak is common when you have a stomach ailment, increasing the chance of injury during a workout. What's more, many stomach illnesses like the stomach flu are highly contagious and can be easily spread to others. If you are feeling restless during a stomach illness, light stretching or yoga at home are the safest options. Flu symptoms. Influenza or the flu is a contagious illness that impacts the respiratory system. The flu causes symptoms like fever, chills, sore throat, body aches, fatigue, headache, cough, and congestion. The flu can be mild or severe depending on the level of infection and may even cause death in serious cases. Although not every person who gets the flu will experience a fever, those who do are at an increased risk of dehydration, making working out a bad idea. Though the majority of people recover from the flu in less than 2 weeks, choosing to engage in intense workouts while sick may prolong the flu and delay your recovery. This is because engaging in higher intensity activity like running or a spin class temporarily suppresses the body's immune response. Plus, the flu is a highly contagious virus that is spread primarily through tiny droplets people with the flu release into the air when they talk, cough, or sneeze. If you're diagnosed with the flu, it's best to take it easy and avoid exercise while you're experiencing symptoms. Summary. If you are experiencing symptoms like fever, vomiting, diarrhea, or a productive cough, taking time off from the gym may be the best option for both your own recovery and the safety of others. So, when is it okay to return to your routine? Many people are anxious to get back to the gym after recovering from an illness, and for good reason. Regular exercise can reduce your risk of becoming sick in the first place by boosting your immune system. However, it's important to let your body completely recover from an illness before returning to your exercise routine, and you shouldn't stress if you're unable to work out for an extended period of time. While some people worry that a few days off from the gym will set them back and cause a loss of muscle and strength, that's not the case. Many studies show that for most people, muscle loss begins after approximately 3 weeks without training, while strength starts to decline around the 10-day mark. As symptoms subside, gradually begin introducing more physical activity into your day, being careful not to overdo it. On your first day back to the gym, begin with a low-intensity, shorter workout, and be sure to hydrate with water while exercising. Remember, your body may be feeling weak, especially if you're recovering from a stomach illness or the flu, and it's important to pay attention to how you are feeling. If you are questioning whether you can safely work out while recovering from being sick, ask your doctor for advice. Additionally, even though you may be feeling better, keep in mind you might still be able to spread your illness to others. Adults are able to infect others with the flu up to 7 days after first experiencing flu symptoms. Although getting back to the gym after an illness is beneficial for your overall health, it is important to listen to your body and your doctor when deciding whether you are well enough for more intense activity. Summary. Waiting until symptoms completely subside before gradually getting back into your workout routine is a safe way to return to exercise after an illness. The bottom line. When experiencing symptoms like diarrhea, vomiting, weakness, fever, or a productive cough, it's best to rest your body and take some time off from the gym to recover. However, if you caught a mild cold or are experiencing some nasal congestion, there's no need to throw in the towel on your workout. If you're feeling well enough to work out but lack your usual energy, reducing the intensity or length of your workout is a great way to stay active. That said, to stay healthy and safe when you're sick, it is always best to listen to your body and follow your doctor's advice. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled, Working Out While Sick, Good or Bad, by Jillian Kubala with Healthline.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. On longer flights, my legs usually aren't feeling too great. I'm sure you know the feeling. They can feel heavy, achy, and completely stiff. Compression socks I've tried in the past were basically plastic bags and super sweaty, but hollow socks are much more comfortable. Their performance compression socks are made from ultra-soft baby alpaca fiber. The graduated compression is snug at the ankle and gently tapers up your leg, so everything just feels supported without that suffocating squeeze. They're 3 times more breathable, so no more swamp feet on long flights or 12-hour shifts. You can actually keep them on all day. Plus, they're made in the USA with over 2 million pairs sold. For a limited time, Hollow Socks is having a buy 2, get 2 free sale. Head to hollowsocks.com today to check it out. That's hollowsocks.com for up to 50% off your order. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and you can support our show and tell them we sent you.
Sierra has all the best active and outdoor brands you need, from athletic stuff, like a full court pickup game, swish, to athlete-ish stuff, like a half-mile stroll. Get those steps in. And for morning hikes up the mountain trail, good pace, to nighttime ghost stories from the camping chair. What a twist. Whatever level of active, Sierra loves it all. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athlete-ish, Sierra's got it.
Dr. Neil here for my commentary. I remember when I took exercise physiology when I was a student. Some of the data my professor shared was that it was a good idea to work out when you're feeling sick. The studies at the time said that it might actually boost your recovery time, meaning you'll get healthy faster. Sure enough, I happened to get sick sometime later, and I decided I'm going to take that advice. And boy, was that a bad idea. I felt so much worse. I swear it delayed my recovery. And so I realized that maybe this wasn't for me. Maybe the data my professor shared didn't really work for everybody or every condition. And sure enough, fast forward to today, and we find that under certain situations, it might be okay to work out, but not in others. I was experiencing at the time a fever, and I decided it'd be good to work out. So yeah, of course I felt worse. Now, the author of the article mentioned dehydration. Yes, that is super important to pay attention to no matter what kind of cold or flu or stomach bug you're experiencing. Most of us are dehydrated all the time, and it tends to get worse when we're sick. And yesterday, the author pointed out that drinking cool water might be a good idea. Now, it's funny, but it's true. Cool water is actually absorbed by the body more quickly than warm or room temperature water. And so if you want to be sure that you're rehydrating your cells quickly, cool water is advised. And I also just read to you a statement where the author mentioned if you perform like highly intense workouts, your immune system actually goes down a little bit. It's less effective. And this is absolutely true. But that doesn't mean you should not ever perform high intensity routines. That's because this dip in the immune system's ability to fight off infection is very, very temporary. The immune system then gets its strength back really quickly afterwards, and in fact, goes even higher, meaning your immune system ends up being stronger after performing intense activity. It's just there's this little dip that occurs right afterwards that makes you a little bit more susceptible to getting sick. But again, the immune system quickly recovers and you actually get stronger. So don't let that deter you from performing higher intensity workouts. And of course, I mean higher intensity workouts when you're feeling your best, not while you're sick. All right, that wraps up today's episode. Thank you always for listening. Thank you for being a subscriber of the show. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll be back here tomorrow for the Friday Q&A and where your optimal life awaits.